Hi everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Lexi and this is Beyond the Mirror. For today's video, we're going to focus on panning eyeshadows. So this whole year I've been doing a rolling project pan, and if you aren't familiar with what a project pan is, it's pretty much hitting pan, or kind of like the pan in the back is really the whole gist of it. So today's video, I'm going to go over the eyeshadows that I rolled in last month. A lot of my eyeshadow palettes are a bit newer in my collection. I'm not necessarily focused on hitting pan on them, but rather I'm setting usage goals of 20 times each so that I can be a little pushed to my creative limits with these and just have fun using the new products in my collection. So the way that I have this set up is I have 5 eyeshadows that are randomly picked. I have one that I pick from a specific palette. Then I have 2 colors that I have in a random generator. I have a running list of every single shadow that I have in my collection, and I just roll 2 random numbers. If I've used it, then I take it out of that list so I'm not getting any repeats. The last 2, I have an Excel sheet that I believe Makeup by Lainey made, and it has different prompts. So again, I roll 2 random numbers, I get a prompt, and then that way I have a little more creative freedom.
I've made a huge mistake.
That way I have a little more freedom to be creative and kind of hopefully make them work with the other shades that I picked. So I'm going to start with showing you the 5 shades that I had. I'm only rolling out 3. The other 2 I haven't hit my usage goals on yet. So we'll be picking 3 new numbers today, and I will show you swatches of the new versus the old, and I'll try and create an eye look using the new ones. So I'm going to show you the 5 previous shades that I've been using. The first palette, this is the one that I'm actually trying to pan a few shades in this year. This is the NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette. So you can see it's really great, like different warm tone shades. It's got a mixture of some matte shades as well as some shimmers. I just use it to set my base. Like if I'm using any concealer, I use it to set that. And let's see, is it showing up at all? Okay, you can see it a little bit. So yeah, it's very light. I also use this to kind of blur in any other shades that might be a little too aggressive or just not blending very well. So I like to use that. Okay, then I have 2 shades in the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. And I've been really enjoying this palette. It is so beautiful. The first shade I have is Vague, which is kind of like this really warm brown. It shows up a little warmer on my skin tone, so I've kind of had some trouble mixing it with some of these other shades, but I'm finally rolling this one out as well. So there's the second one. And then I have a second shade in this palette, which is Travertine, and it's a nice shimmer. It's kind of like a taupey brown shimmer, which is really pretty. The 4th shade that I have is from the Colourpop Fly Away 5-pan palette. And the one that I have is Hover, which is just this perfect nude brown. A lot of brown so far. So this one I find isn't as red tone as the other one. It's really just a nice neutral brown. Okay, and then the last shade I have is in the Colourpop On a Wing 5-pan palette. Very similar to the last one, and the shade that I have is Take Off, which is just this beautiful like baby pink shimmer. It's so pretty. And so I did move it up here because I was running out of space, but here's the first one, and then the rest. It's a very neutral look except for this one, so I'm excited to kind of roll in some different shades and hopefully not be so brown. So I'm going to roll those numbers, and then I will come back and tell you what the prompt or number was, and I'll do a swatch of all of those. So I rolled those numbers, and I'm really excited with what we got today. So the first prompt was an everyday color. So I waited to pick because I wanted to see what the other shade was. And then the other one was a specific shade, and that one was in my Colourpop Lush Life palette. And the color was, oh gosh, it's Paradise, which is kind of like this greeny yellow shimmer. I don't know, I haven't used that color yet. So I'm really excited for that one. And then the everyday color that I picked is from the Colourpop Sailor Moon Pretty Guardian palette. And the one that I picked is called Moon Castle, which is kind of like this nude pink shade. I think it'll be really great to use. And then in this palette, I don't pick from an Excel sheet and do a random number generator, I'm just going to handpick from this one because I think that way I'm more likely to actually finish a color by the end of the year. Kind of these two bottom rows I don't really use, especially this bottom row. I use some of the shimmers in them, but these mattes, not really my style. These top two rows, perfect for me, so great. I use this shade and this shade as like highlighters on my face, and I really like that. So this is kind of hard. I need to pick which one I want to use. All right, I'm gonna be kind of basic here, and I'm gonna pick this kind of like, I don't know, like a mauve pink. First, let's do a swatch of all the new shades, including the previous ones, and we'll do side-by-side comparison of the old versus new. So on this side, we have all of the past colors that I was using. And then on this hand, we have the past two, and then the new shades I rolled in. And I am loving this combination. We'll see how it looks in the eyes. I'm a little scared about its Paradise. Very neutral look again, and then just this random pop color. So we'll see how it works, and I'm gonna bring you guys in closer so you can see what I'm doing. All right, now that we're all close and personal, I'm gonna start with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I love using this instead of concealer. I think it's a great base. It doesn't have as much pigment as, say, if you were to use concealer. And I'm sure there are other ones just like this that do the same thing but have more pigment. But I do really like this just as a tacky base to start with. All right, now that we have the primer on, let's start with our first shade. The first shade, I think I'm gonna start with Moon Castle from the Colourpop Stellar Moon palette. And I'm gonna use kind of like a fluffy brush for this. So it already seems like there's a bit of fallout with the brush, so hopefully the primer really helped. That's a really nice base shade. Okay, so I'm just gonna blend it out, kind of all over my eyelid. On that same brush, I'm going to use the color from the NYX palette, that kind of like dusty mauve pink that we picked, and I'm going to use this to deepen up kind of my inner crease, and then I'll use that neutral brown to kind of deepen up the outer crease. So just go in. I also love to use this shade as a blush. The pans are pretty small, so it's hard to get like a big brush in there, but when I have time, it looks great. I'm going to use Hover Off, and I'm going to use a smaller and denser brush for this, just to really pack on the color. Alright, so I'm happy with the look so far. It's kind of looking like the same monotone color all across. We have two shimmers to work with, and they're both very different colors. We have kind of like this neutral taupey brown, very light shimmer, and then our second one is that golden green shimmer. So I don't know, I think I'm gonna do like the taupey one kind of like all over my lid, and then maybe use the green ones like an inner highlight. So we'll see how that looks. Actually, I changed my mind. I think I'm gonna do like a halo eye kind of look. So I'm gonna pack this shade kind of all on my lid, and then I'm gonna do that green shimmer right in the center. Alright, I'm going to throw on a little bit of eyeliner and mascara. And for eyeliner, I'm going to go in with the Tarte Double Take eyeliner. It's just a general black gel eyeliner. I'm actually almost done with it. That's all that is left. So I'm just going to do that first. Alright, next for mascara, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Lash Extender. It's a tubing mascara and it gives you so much length. Not much volume, but I'm okay with that. Alright, and then for lips, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury pillowtalk lip liner, and then for all over color, I'm using the Glossier Generation G in Cake, and these are both just kind of like a nude pink. And here is the final look. I am really loving this color combo, and I feel like it kind of goes to my shirt and my necklace. This is so pretty. I would not have thought to pair like these browns with this bright green. So this is my first update, but I'll let you guys know when I reach my usage update. Again, I want to use each shade 20 times, and so I'll keep track of that and I'll share some looks with you guys later. Thank you so much for being with me here today. If you want to continue supporting me and my channel, I would love if you like and subscribe. That way you can be reminded of any upcoming videos. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!